Well, I moved here 3 years ago to Melbourne, and before that I was working at Flinders University. So I was teaching history there, I was teaching study skills and doing my PhD. And then when I finished that, I moved here and have been working here, NMIT and at Melbourne Uni. I did a PhD in history, and it was on Australian soldiers' letters and diaries from the Boer and Vietnam War. So I went around Australia and read all their letters and diaries, which was amazing. So I finished my PhD just before I moved here, and now I'm writing it up as a book, and it's set to be published by Bloomsbury next year, I think next January. I am an e-learning advisor in Learning and Communicating Online, which is a core topic for students who are going to be studying at Seoul, at Swinburne Online. And basically what I do this teaching period, I have 6 classes, and with those classes I help them go through activities that basically just sort of help them learn how to be a better online learner. So this is a core topic that all students have to do before they start studying in Swinburne Online. So there are certain things that you need: being able to collaborate well, realising that when you are speaking to someone online, you might have to wait a little while. It's not like face-to-face where you can just have a normal conversation, and getting used to that does take a little while, and this topic helps because there's group work involved and that sort of thing. And then also we're teaching students life skills really on how to judge what's a good source of information. So basically when you read a website, of which you can find so much information on the internet, and you can't really tell what's true and what's not true. And we're teaching them how to be able to tell the difference between good information that you should believe and bad information that you should just ignore and never use. And that's a skill that's not only useful for the rest of their degrees, but also in normal life. So at the beginning of the week, I'll usually send an email out to every student that I'm teaching and just say, okay, well this week, these are the things we're doing. This is where you should be at with your assessments. This is what's due soon, things like that. And then generally on a day-to-day basis, I'll get several emails from students. And then every day I also go on the discussion board and check what they're doing, what they've been writing, and responding to them and giving them feedback. For this topic particularly, because the way that the topic is organised is that we have 4 assessments. Every activity every week, or almost every activity, is actually focused towards one part of their assessment. So basically if a student goes on there, completes the activity, they get feedback on an aspect of their assessment, which increases their marks. So the discussion boards are absolutely essential for particularly the topic that I teach, definitely. The students every week have to go on, there's some learning materials that they have to read. It's not very long, usually there's links to videos and diagrams to appeal to visual learners, and then there's activities related to those, to the learning materials that are also joint in with the assessments. So they're doing activities that have to do with the learning materials, but then parts of their assessment that they can get feedback on, which is great. If I see that students are having trouble with assessments, or if I feel that they haven't been on the discussion board enough, I like to send them out personalised emails just saying, are you okay? Do you need any support? And hopefully that sort of helps them get back onto the work. After teaching in this topic for 3 years, I've realised that there's a huge range of students that study at Seoul, from people who have not studied for 20, 30, 40 years, to people who have never touched a computer before, to even people who have just finished high school as well. So it's a huge range, and I think this topic, being a foundation topic in every course that you have to do at Seoul, is that it teaches everyone the same skills, so that they're all at the same level when they go to do their degree, or they're all at the same level at the end of the topic. They know how to use Blackboard, or which is where we've got our discussion boards, to learn online, and they know how to make the most of their own learning online.